Hello everyone, it is May 4th. Took me a minute to realize what month it was. And so we're 4 days into the month. I'm going to do my shop tour now. A bit has changed, a bit is changing. The shop's a bit messy right now, but thought this was a good time to just take a pause and show it kind of mid-change so that we can see a difference from last month, and hopefully we'll see a big difference for next month. As I always do, I'll start here on the right side. The biggest thing on the right side is we've got a bin of drop cloths and some lumber just stacked there. The heater is ready to go upside. It's a small pile to go in the attic and a pile of lumber to be put away. You'll see that concrete step there. Probably not by next tour, but maybe by the end of the summer I'll have that step out. It's about 6 inches wide, and I want to rip it out so I can push equipment tight against the wall and not have it held out by that. So that's going to come out. There's my Steel City bandsaw with the blades coiled up. I got a link belt for it, so I just take the blade off to put the link belt on. Hopefully I'll get that up and put back together again within the next week or two. That should be running by the next shop tour. Here's the table saw with Lil's quilt rack on it. For those of you who haven't seen my constant posting about Lil's quilt rack, there it is. It's tiger maple and walnut. The legs, kind of captured here, are all in different planes. The maple leg comes up kind of in between the two walnut legs, which are rounded and on different planes. So you can see there how one sticks out more than the other. I was looking to kind of juxtapose the curved and flowing legs, which are copied and inspired by blades of grass, with this relatively square, simple shelf, which is going to be obscured by a quilt ultimately, but even now it's kind of just defined by the grain and doesn't need to be too fancy. Anyway, that's Lil's quilt rack. If you want more on that, you can read all the posts. There's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 10-12 posts about it on the blog. It's Lil's quilt rack. You can follow the tag. As we come over here, more lumber that needs to be put away. Some more tiger maple from Bell Forest. Some of the lumber I got from Carrie that's floating around. Those need to be stacked up in these racks. I need to do some organizing in the lumber rack. Here we've got my DeWalt 13-inch planer, which I've had for the better part of a decade. Just about 10 years, maybe a little older. It's just slightly older than my children. And on this roller stand, if you're catching this and you're interested in it and you're anywhere in the Long Island area, let me know, because that planer is going to go up on Craigslist as soon as I get off my butt and get motivated to put it on. So if you want to hit me up for it, let me know if it's still around. I'll get you a deal on it. I'm also going to try to sell this stand. You don't have to take the planer on it, but it works good as a planer stand, and it's got lots of storage. But by the next shop tour, I hope to have that planer and this mobile stand with all the shelves and everything out of the shop. The drill press I'm keeping. I only recently set this up with the planer and the drill press on this one stand, and I've been very happy with it. But I need the space, so I got to find a new home for the drill press. I'm not sure where the drill press is going to go. Here's my Festool shelves and a dust vac with the sander set up. Those boards that are stickered in the back, I was sanding them. They're going to be test boards for some finishing I need to do, so that was kind of mid-project. Come around here. These shelves are relatively empty and not as well organized as I'd like. The toolboxes that go there are on the floor. There's one of them. It's just a bit of a mess, so I gotta just clean that up. And back there in the corner is still a desk slab that I gotta get back to work on, but it's sitting there. It's nice and flat. As we come along, got my clamp racks. I think ultimately I'm gonna write a post or maybe a couple posts and put some plans together for those clamp racks, because they were amazingly quick to make, and every time I use them, I'm pleased with them. They just hold a lot of clamps in a very short space with very little material to make the clamps, but clamp racks rather. But anyway, there's my clamp racks in the corner. If we come along, that shelf on the clock on the shelf, excuse me, is what I'm going to work on repairing, so I'll get to that soon. Here's the still relatively new Powermatic planer. It's still off the wall because I haven't yet gotten around to making the mobile base for it yet. I've got all the casters, but I have to make some Z metal out of heavy gauge welded steel, and I'm talking to welders about getting that made, so I don't have the Z metal made just yet. Here's the Bosch glide saw. Nothing new there, still a fantastic saw. These shelves underneath it will ultimately get rejiggered. What I need to do is I've got those shelves there, that stack of them in the corner inaccessible right now because I moved the bench. And these shelves here. When I get rid of these shelves, I have to clean all of them out because there's probably at least a third of them that are storing things that I don't need to put in shelves and can either throw out or put up in the attic. So my goal is to take everything that's in these red shelves, which will go with that cabinet, and fit it into those shelves there and those shelves there. I've told myself if I have to, I'll buy one more of those shelf units, but I'm hoping I don't have to. So that's the plan in terms of the items that are in those small shelves. And I need to find a better home for both of them. I'm not terribly happy with them here, though that may change once I get this joiner in the mobile base, and I need to move that leg a little over. You see back there, that big curved thing, that's going to support where that leg is now. It's going to get mounted to the wall, so I clear the space for this bed to slide underneath there. So once I get this joiner set up, and I know exactly what space I need for the joiner and what space I don't, I may rework these and keep these shelf drawer units underneath here. It's just those two toolboxes that'll go, and I might stack another drawer unit or two under these. So this is still kind of a work in progress. There's some templates from my other quilt racks, my shop vac, and here is the newest tool in the shop. I just picked this up yesterday. I drove down to Virginia to get it from Steve Taylor, who is getting transferred to Germany, and he was nice enough to let me pick this up from him before he leaves, so thank you, Steve. It is the, what is it? It's a Grizzly GO453Z. It's a 15-inch spiral cutter head planer. So, for right now, it's just leaning against the wall there where one of my bandsaws was. You'll notice, actually, if I sidebar that for a second, I've got the Steel City, and I don't have the Rigid. I sold my Rigid off to a friend on the island last week, so I cleared up a little shop space there. But in terms of this planer, I'm not 100% sure where it's going to go. I think it's going to go basically over here where the current planer is, but I'm not quite sure. And again, I'm faced with the same issue I had with the aftermarket mobile bases I was looking at for the joiner. Well, this has a factory mobile base, and you've got two wheels back there and one wheel here, and those wheels are oriented this way. Well, I don't really need to move it this way so much. I need to move it this way. So I haven't wrapped my head around that. I've got, with the bandsaw gone and this planer going, I've got the space for it. I just have to figure out exactly where it's going to go. So for right now, it's there. So that's the new planer that I'm very excited to put to use soon. And then over here, as long as I was here with a truck, because I had to get a big truck to move the planer, I cleared out some sheet goods. I had a couple bigger pieces of OSB, no full pieces, just little ribs. I had a piece from the wall that had a window cut out in it that I messed up and wasn't able to use. So now I've pared it down just to the smaller pieces of OSB and some pieces of MDF. The MDF I use for templates and stuff, so that's going to stay. That's it. So let me back up and you can see the shop from this end. It's looking a little more open. It's a beautiful sunny day out there. It's finally feeling like May. That's where the shop stands. So please let me know what you think of it, and if you have any need for this DeWalt and I still have it, again, let me know. Happy to hook somebody up with it. And that's about it. So hope your shop's coming along well, and we'll see you soon.